going to share a yoga practice with you this morning about getting into the flow. Before we start, I'd like to just mention a few things about the practice. One is if your hips or legs are tight, you can always sit on top of something like a folded blanket or a pillow to have your hips higher than your legs. Also, yoga props are very helpful to help you get into a pose a little bit better or more deeply than you would be able to otherwise. You can use things you have from around the house if you want to, and just decide for yourself. You also might want something to put under your head at the end of the class. So we're just going to get started. If you take a comfortable seat, easy pose is rather like crossed legs. You can do that. If you feel too uncomfortable, you can extend one leg or both legs outward. And again, sitting up with your hips if you want to make yourself feel more comfortable. Just relaxing your hands on your knees or your thighs. You're going to sit upright, long through your spine. Draw your right shoulder back and your left shoulder back. You're trying to draw your ears over your shoulders. And if you want to move a little flesh around, find your sit bones and plant your sit bones into the earth so you feel nice and grounded. Your hands can be down or up, whichever one feels like it's the right thing for you today. Gently closing your eyes or gazing downward if you're not comfortable closing your eyes. And then you're turning your thoughts inward towards your breath. So you're trying to think about how your breath feels to you in your body right now. Noticing characteristics of your breath. Is it long, short, shallow, deep, even, smooth, erratic? And then try to make your breath just a little bit longer. So if you take an in-breath, make it a little longer, and an out-breath, and make it a little longer. Finding your breath. Slowing yourself down, getting ready for your practice. And if you're able to make that breath a little longer on the inhale and a little longer on the exhale, notice if you can make your breath smoother. So it kind of glides in and it glides out like a flow, a cycle. Maybe you could visualize a wave coming into the beach and then going back out to the ocean. Is there a way to soften your breath? Being calm, feeling still. That's not always a feeling that everyone is comfortable with. Just return your focus to your breath and what it feels like coming into your body and what it feels like going out of your body. If you want to keep your eyes closed a moment longer, you can, or you can gently open your eyes. And you're going to take your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then bring yourself back to center and take your left ear to your left shoulder. And come back to center. Inhaling to the center and exhaling, dropping your right ear towards your right shoulder. Keeping your face forward, your torso forward, inhaling to the center and dropping your left ear toward your left shoulder. And then coming back to center, keeping your chest forward. Use your neck and your head and just turn all the way your face to the right. inhale yourself back to center, and then as you exhale, turn your face and your head all the way to the left. And we're going to come to center again, and one more time, each direction. Bringing yourself back to center, releasing your hands to the sides of your hips. Inhale your left arm high, and exhale, take a side bend to the right. You can push that right hand out a little bit if you want to try to get lower. You're trying to keep both of your sit bones down and unshrug that top shoulder. When you breathe, can you feel your breath expand your left ribs? On an in-breath, slowly bring yourself back up to center. We're going to switch arms, so the right arm goes high, and you're going to side bend left. And if you want to push that hand out to get longer, deeper into your side bend, you can do that. And then slowly coming back up to center. An easy twist from an easy pose. Take your left hand to the outside of your right knee, and you're just going to twist through your torso. So where you looked right with your neck and your head, now you're looking right because your abdomen, your ribs, your chest, and your shoulders are rotating to the right. Release that twist and come back to center. And you're going to take your right hand to the outside of your left knee and take a twist to the left. If you straighten your left arm, you can keep your posture more upright. And bring yourself back to center. We've been facing forward so far, but I want you to know that as we get into movements, if you can listen to one instruction at a time, I will make sure that your body is in the right place. Rather than you trying to turn your head and your neck and look all the way around to find your screen again. So it's a practice trying to listen to one instruction at a time, but that's a good way to practice your yoga. If you want something under your knees, if your knees are tender, you can always put some sort of padding there. If you want your folded blanket or towel, or if you have a pad, so it would look like this. We're going to come into tabletop on all fours. And on all fours, your hands are down from your shoulders, and your knees are down from your hips. From this position, try to press the tops of your feet into the mat. You're holding yourself there. If your wrists bother you, you can take them forward a little, or if your shoulders are too tight, you can take your arms a little bit wider. So there's a very good thing about yoga, and that is you're going to do what's right for you and your body. Find what's right for you and your body. Take a breath in here and a breath out. We're going to move into cat-cow. So as you inhale, drop your belly towards the floor, heart forward, gaze forward. And as you exhale, pull your belly up towards the sky. Drop your head and look towards your thighs. So as you inhale, your heart forward and your gaze forward, a long movement. And as you exhale, you're rounding up, dropping your gaze towards your thighs. Inhaling forward and exhaling, rounding yourself up. Try 2 more complete breaths of your own. Thinking about making the movement the full length of your breath. And then when you're finished, you're going to be ending back in your tabletop. From here, extend your right arm and your left leg. You're trying to find steadiness. You're trying to find balance. You're in your sunbird pose. And then take a breath in, and as you exhale, bring your right hand down and your left knee down. On an in-breath, left arm goes out, right leg goes out. Hold your sunbird. Find your steadiness, find your balance. Take a breath in here, and hand down and knee down. We're going to add a little bit of flow to that. So inhale your right arm and your left leg, and as you exhale, bring your elbow towards your knee under your abdomen. Try to find your steadiness here. So the inhale is the extension, and the exhale is elbow to knee. You can always put that right hand down if you feel unbalanced, and you can just bring your knee towards your chest. Try 2 more complete breaths on your own. And then when you're finished, you're going to be ending in your tabletop. So let's go the other side. Left arm, right leg, inhale, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, out. Elbow to knee. Keep going. If you want to feel steadier, you can put your left hand down and bring your knee towards your chest. Try 2 more complete breaths of your own. And when you're finished, you're going to come back into your tabletop. So from here, take your right foot back, curl your toes under. Take your left foot back, curl your toes under. Try to make your body straight into a plank. So in other words, you're not sagging and you're not pushing your butt up. You're trying to hold yourself into a plank. You can always put your knees down, especially if you feel like your shoulders aren't strong enough, or if you feel like your shoulders are hurting in any way. So chaturanga, usually you don't have to drop yourself all the way down to the mat, but we're going to today to warm up the back. So I have you lift your hips just a little so you can bend your elbows and bring your chest down first. And then put your hips down and your tops of feet down. Hands next to your chest. Bring your legs closer together. Inhale, extend your elbows, come up into cobra, chest up. Exhale, lower down. Come on up into cobra, in breath. Exhale down. In breath comes up. Exhale down. Now your next in breath, you can come into cobra or you can come into up dog. We're just warming up the back a little bit. So you're taking a breath in and a breath out wherever you're at. And then you're going to, you can put your knees down and curl your toes under, or you can walk over your feet, bring yourself into a downward facing dog. So press your hands flat, your fingers flat, your index finger pointed forward. Press down through your heels, they don't have to touch. And if you need to bend your knees a little bit, do that. You're trying to bring your shoulder blades across your back and down towards your hips. You're holding yourself here. Just walk it out, bend one knee, and then shift and bend the other knee. And as you walk it out, you're trying not to let your hips drop forward. And then come back to center. Press your chest towards your thighs, long spine, and then bring your knees down, tops of feet down. So we're going to practice stepping through from tabletop, and we'll practice stepping through from down dog. Inhale your right leg back, bend your knee, flex your foot, take a step through towards your right thumb. And this is also a good place if you have your props. You can use these to drop your hip. So here you are in tabletop hips, and you're going to drop down so that that left hip is nice and open. Your heart is forward, your gaze is forward. Find your breath here. sky into low lunge. Find your breath, or let your breath find you. A breath in, and then as you exhale, hands down to either side of your front foot. Step your knees back side by side. A breath in here, and a breath out. Now you're going to extend your left leg back, bend your knee, flex your foot, round your back up, step through toward your left thumb. If you choose to use your blocks, you can do that, or you can keep your hands tented on either side of your front foot. You might still be in your tabletop hip, so you're going to drop that hip down. Open it up, heart forward, gaze forward. And then putting your hands on your thighs, push yourself upright, still opening through that hip. Bring your arms up, low lunge. Unshrugging, you're unshrugging, but you're long through your torso. Find your breath here. And on your next exhale, bring your hands back down to either side of your front foot, and then step your knees side by side. So with your knees side by side, curl your toes under, lift your knees and your hips, and push yourself back into your downward facing dog. Your chest towards your thighs. You're trying to keep a long spine. In society today, we don't need any more help rounding through that upper back. So you're keeping your long spine, pressing your hands down, shoulders, blades together and towards your hips. Heels towards the ground, they do not have to touch. Soften your knees if you need to. So we're going to practice the step through from down dog. On an in-breath, lift your right leg high, bend your knee, flex your foot, and take a step forward toward your right thumb. Now when you step forward from here, you can take 2 or 3 steps. You can grab your ankle and pull it forward. Whatever you need to do to get there. And if you want to use your blocks right here, you can do that. Heart forward, gaze forward. Dropping that left hip, get the left hip nice and open. And then you can place your hands on your thigh, push yourself upright, and then arms to the sky, high lunge. Relax through your shoulders, open your heart. Let your breath find you. Notice your steadiness. Where is that coming from? A breath in here, and then as you exhale, hands on either side of your front foot, step back into your plank. Inhale to your plank, and exhale to your down dog. A breath in here, and a breath out. On the in-breath, lift your left leg high. Bend your knee, flex your foot, a big step forward towards your left thumb. You can pull your foot forward, you can take 2 or 3 steps, holding yourself there. Use your props if you want to. You get that right hip drop nice and low. And then take your hands to your thigh, push yourself upright. Stay here or bring your arms to the sky. Find your breath, find your steadiness. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, hands on either side of your front foot. Step back into your plank. Inhale to your plank, and exhale to your down dog. A breath in here, and a breath out. You can always shift. Anytime you come into a pose, you can make a shift to make yourself feel more comfortable in it. Now bring that right leg high, and your knee, flex your foot, step forward, heart forward, gaze forward, and this time we're going to roll off the back foot and step forward and fold. Now your forward fold, you can use something, a block in front. If you want want to, you can take your hands to your thighs, to your shins. You're trying to keep a long spine. So it's not about rounding over. It's about trying to bring your chest towards your thighs and then dropping the top of your head. Find your center. Find where you are balanced. And then shift your weight to the right and come back to center. Shift your weight to the left. Find your balance again. A breath in here and a breath out. Now inhale, you can bring your hands to your shins, flatten your back and look down, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flatten your back, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. And then a big circle. Sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. And bring your hands over your heart center. Taking a breath in here and a breath out. Get steady through your feet. You can roll your ankles in, roll your ankles out, flatten your feet, lift your toes and try to spread them. If you want to go up on your toes, lift both of your heels and then slowly come down. Good. Inhale your arms high. Take your right hand on your left wrist and side bend to the right. Come back to center, switch your hands, side bend to the left. And then come back to center, hands over heart center. If you did use something for your knees, you can always move it off your mat at this point. Find your breath here, taking a breath in and a breath out. You're doing good. Another breath in and a breath out. So you're facing the front of your mat. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, a big step back with your right leg. Not a baby step, so we're not coming here, coming back further. Turn your back toes out maybe 45 degrees. Standing up tall, bring your hips forward. If you need to adjust that back foot or leg so it's more comfortable through your back, you can do that. Hands are still over your heart. Put a bend in your front knee. Your knee is over your ankle and it lines up with your toes. And then lift your arms high. You're in your warrior one. Try to find steadiness. Can you feel four corners of each foot? Can you plant them a little more firmly? And we're going to do a flow, a small one, which is one movement after the other to the breath. So this is the in breath. The out breath, straighten your front knee, bring your arms down. The in breath, bend your knee, arms are high. The out breath, straighten your knee, arms down. In breath, up. Out breath, down. In breath, up. Out breath, down. One more. In breath, up. Now hold here in your out breath. Bring your hands to your hips and draw your elbows back. That's going to open your chest and it's going to help you to straighten up your posture. So you're opening your chest, draw your shoulder blades across your back. You're going to use your hips just as a hinge. This is another pose that's not about rounding your upper back, but you're going to try to bring your chest down toward your thigh. Even if you can just go partial, a fourth, a third, a half. Chest towards your thigh, go as low as you can go. You can release your hands to the mat. You can release your hands to blocks, or you can take your hands on your thigh, just gently, not hard, pressing into that thigh with your hands. When you're down where you think you can go, drop your head so you can feel your neck relax. So you're trying to straighten that spine, chest to thighs, drop your head. Maybe noticing the back of your front foot. And then putting your hands to your hips, slowly come upright. Step together to the front of your mat, hands over heart center. Taking a breath in here and a breath out. A breath in, take a big step back with your left leg on your out breath. Not a baby step. And you're going to have that back foot turned out maybe 45 degrees, and you're going to bring your hips forward again. Putting a bend in your front knee, line it up over your ankle in line with your toes, and then bring your arms high. Heart is open, shoulder blades retracted, pressing down into the earth and lifting high into your warrior one. Unshrugging. Now take a breath in and a breath out. We're going to start the flow. This is the in-breath. The out-breath, straighten your knee, arms down. The in-breath, bend your knee, arms up. The out-breath, straighten your knee, arms down. The in-breath, arms up, bend your knee. The out-breath, straighten, arms down. Last one, inhale up, exhale down, and hold your straighten. All right, your hips are still forward. Taking your hands to your hips and draw your elbows back, opening your chest. So you're going to try to stay with a long spine as long as possible as you hinge at your hips and try to bring your chest towards your thighs. When you're as low as you can go, you can release your hands to your thigh. You can bring them to blocks. You can touch down at the mat. And you're just going to try to drop your head to release your neck. If that's possible, if you can do that. Some things are available to you on some days and some days they're not. So you do what's best for you. You're doing your best and that's good enough. Maybe feeling the back of your front leg. You can bring your hands back to your hips, slowly pull yourself up. Take a step forward to the front of your mat, hands over heart center. Nicely done, good. A breath in here, and a breath out. We're going to shift the weight into the left leg by bending your right knee. When you bend your right knee, you're going to keep that left hip pulled into your midline. You can lift your knee wherever you feel comfortable, and then bring your knee to the side. You're going to place your right foot on your left leg. You can slide your foot down and tap your toe on the mat. You could bring it on your calf, or if you want to, you can raise it up above your knee. Holding in your tree pose, arms parallel to the earth. On an in-breath, arms high to the sky. And then hands over your heart center. A breath in here, and a breath out, and step lightly down. Shift if you need to. Shift your arms, shift your legs, shift your body. We're going to put the weight in the right leg by bending the left knee. You decide how high you want to try to lift that knee. And then you're going to take the knee to the side, push this hip in. You can put your left foot on your right leg, at your calf, at the floor. You can bring it above your knee if you want to. And hold in your tree pose. Bring your arms parallel to the earth, high to the sky, hands over your heart, and then step lightly down. Good. Shift, take a breath. If you're not at the front of your mat, come to the front of your mat. Inhale, sweeping your arms up, and exhale and fold. Come into a long spine. Exhale and fold, and step your right leg back and your left leg back. You're in a plank. Bring your knees down to the mat, cross your ankles, walk your hands to your knees, and roll over, extending your legs out in front. And if you need to shift on your mat, do that. We're going to laying down using your core. If you want something under your head, you can put it there. So when you lay down, you want your chin lower than your nose. Engage your core. You can catch yourself with your arms or your hands. And then hold yourself there. Turn your palms to the sky. Notice how that opens your heart and your lungs. Now bending your knees, bring your right ankle across your left knee and bring your left leg into tabletop. So you can hold your left thigh with your hands. If your hands don't reach, you could take a strap and put the strap around your left thigh and hold your thigh up that way. Activate both feet, flexing your toes toward your knees and try to spread your toes. And relax your upper body. Taking your left leg to the left, just enough where you can feel yourself get into a deeper stretch here in your right glute and hamstring area. Come back to center. Straighten your leg towards the sky, your left leg towards the sky, and point and flex your ankle and your toes. And you can rotate in one direction and the other with your ankle. Try not to let your toes lead your ankle. Bend your knee, put your foot down on the mat, and uncross your right ankle. Take your left ankle across your right knee, and just bring that right leg into tabletop. Activate both feet. You can use your hands or a strap around your right thigh to hold your thigh upright. And then find your breath. Taking your right leg to the right, just enough to feel yourself go deeper into that left glute, hamstring, piriformis area, whatever you want to call it, it's okay by me. And then come back to center. Straighten your right leg towards the ceiling, point and flex your ankle and your toes. And then you can rotate your ankle in one direction. Try to leave your toes still for that, and then your ankle in the other direction. Bending your right knee, put your right foot on the mat. Uncross your left ankle, put your left foot on the mat. Turn your palms to the sky, arms to the side. Just drop both knees right and look left. A nice spiral line stretch. Come back to center and go the other way. Knees left, look right. Come back to center. Bring your arms closer to your body, but keep your palms up. And extend your right leg flat on the mat and your left leg flat on the mat. Let your feet fall open. We're going to prepare for Shavasana, which is your resting pose. You're restoring to your body whatever life has taken out of it. So you're trying to get in your most relaxing posture. Something under your head is good. If you want something under your knees, put it there. You can come into constructive rest with wide feet and knees together if you want to. Taking a breath in and a breath out. Breathing in calmness. And as you breathe out, try to relax into your mat just a little bit more. Softening through your jaw. releasing your tongue. Think about the area around your eyes, and can you let that go? What about your forehead? Can you smooth it out? Breathing in calmness and breathing out, relaxing even further into the mat. And coming back, bringing your awareness to your breath. Back to the very beginning. How does the breath feel going into your body? And how does the breath feel coming out of your body? You can also bring your awareness to the moment that surrounds you. You can use your 5 senses. What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? Starting with small movements, if you want to move your hands or feet, fingers or toes. Think about what your body wants. Do you want to turn your head? You don't have to. You choose. If your body wants to get long, maybe you want to bring your arms over your head. But if you're fine where you are, stay right where you are. And then when you are ready, bending your knees and rolling over onto your right side. If the left side is more comfortable, do that. Go slow so you don't lose your rest, and use your hands and your arms to push yourself back up into a comfortable seat. When you're in your comfortable seat, bringing your hands over heart center. And I want to thank you, all of you, for coming today and sharing your practice with each other. Namaste. Beautifully done.